this might be a lot of things that people don't care. But as a girl, and as a girl with many things, I think you should care. This is, in my opinion, best selling feature for We're just figuring it out. Hello and welcome back to Figuring It Out. My name is Melody. And today I'll be sharing how to buy your first car as a fresh graduate. So I used to think buying a car was a very simple process. Like you pick a car you like, you have a budget, you get a bank loan, then once you get it, you buy the car, then you got it. Very simple, right? But it's actually not the case at all. It was way more complicated than I thought, which is why I decided to make this guide lah. But you also might be wondering like, Melody, you already have a car. Like, why do you want to buy another car? That's not very financially savvy of you, you know? You're right. But it's also because my car is really, really old and maintenance is getting really costly as a fresh graduate. So I wanted to compare. I was like, with the amount of money that I'm spending on my current car, wouldn't it be smarter for me to get a new car instead? So that's why I started looking into it. And while I was looking into it, I realized, hey, actually my audience might benefit from this. Why not I make a video and a guide where I'm learning and I can transfer everything I learned to you guys. Okay? So if you're thinking about buying your first car, or if you're thinking about asking your parents to buy your first car for you, this might be the video for you. Okay, before we buy a car, most people might think, as a fresh graduate, your salary is so little, can you actually buy a car? And to answer your question, yes, you can. But there's a lot of limitations and there's a lot of restrictions that you need to put in order to buy a car as a fresh graduate. If you have very low salary, impossible you want to buy Mercedes, right? You have to be very logical. Okay? So, how much can we actually spend on a car? So what I did was I went to PIDM and I searched DSR ratio. So what DSR ratio is? Debt servicing ratio. Basically, how much of your salary you can spend on debt. All kinds of debt. From house debt, personal loan debt, car debt, student loan debt lah basically. So what it showed me was the average Malaysian can spend around 30 to 40% of their total take-home salary on debt. That's it. That's the bare minimum. So once you've done your math of your salary, then 30 to 40% of your salary. I didn't do the math for you, but you should do it for yourself, okay? So once you've done the math of how much you can actually spend on your car debt, then only you can go car shopping. So for those of you who have been working for a while with some savings, have a decently paying salary with almost no commitments, you can consider increasing your budget a little bit, but I don't really recommend it. But that is only based on what your current needs are. Like for example, my friends, they prefer car with stronger horsepower, which is why they decided to upgrade. Or some other friends prefer like, okay, I really need a bigger space because I go around carrying clients all the time. So that's why I need a car that's more SUV-like rather than a hatchback or a sedan. You know what I'm saying? Like pick according to your needs and your budget. Okay, then next, how do we decide if we actually need a car? Because maybe for someone like me, maybe I might just be thinking like, oh, all my friends got new car, all my friends got pretty car, but then my one is super old and lao ya. I want to upgrade. Do you really need to upgrade? Or let's say maybe I take public transport and it's actually perfectly fine for me to take public transport. I don't need a car. But it's just like, what if on the weekend I don't want to go out with public transport? I just want to take a car and then I want to put my things in the car. So fun. Every time I go out, I need to carry bags. Like, really evaluate. But at the same time, I understand it's a thought process. There are certain things that you have to think about before buying a car. So these are the points that I listed down to help you make the decision whether you need a car. So number one is, you have to understand, do you truly need it? So what do I mean by that? Like for example, for work, your job requires you to travel, like you have events job, you go out of state, or maybe you don't live near public transport. And it is really quite troublesome for you to ask your parents to fetch you to public transport all the time and then only get to your job. And maybe from public transport to your job is another 10-minute drive. Okay, yeah, this is really, really troublesome. And you're thinking it's really taking up a lot of your time and energy. Okay, then you should get a car. Number two, you comfortably can afford it. What I mean by that is, you did the math according to the DSR ratio that I mentioned just now. You can afford your monthly repayment, your insurance, your petrol, your maintenance, your toll, and this is just basic, plus parking, and you feel like, okay, it's still a breathable amount, I can survive every single month and still have savings, then only maybe, you can get a car. Number 3, you plan to keep it for at least 5 to 7 years. In my opinion, a car is kind of like a phone. You buy the phone, you use until it's dead. You don't buy and then you wait until the next phone come out, then you buy a new one. Same for a car. So when you buy one, you're really thinking like, hey, I'm gonna use this car and I'm gonna drive in this car for at least 5 to 7 years minimum. Would be better if it's onwards, because once you buy a car, it's not as valuable anymore, lol. Yeah, but not only that, like for example, I have friends who are planning to go work and travel for at least 3 years in Australia. They buy a car now, then the car just sit there. Isn't it a waste of money? Yeah, so you should evaluate. I can continue driving it for 5 to 7 years. So these are the 3 main points that I believe you should consider properly before you want to buy a car. So let's move on to why you shouldn't buy a car. Number 1, you want it for the wrong reasons, okay? So maybe like me. So I see my friends got pretty cars. I also want a pretty car. They go in, got new car smell, and then like they have more upgraded features. They got big screen, my one don't have, and they got auto lock function. I was like, wow, damn cool. I want a car for aesthetic reasons, or also, the wrong reasons basically. It's not for functionality purposes. Number 2, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Like what I said, you didn't do the math and you're thinking, okay, monthly installment I can cover. And then you get a car loan, then you buy the car, then you realize actually petrol costs quite a lot, maintenance costs quite a lot. Not only that, to get to my office every single day, just to get to my office, toll is around 8 ringgit. On the way back, another 8 ringgit, 16 ringgit every day. Wow, really? Can I afford? Then parking. Maybe your company doesn't subsidize parking, then you pay another 150 ringgit for parking. Can you manage the cost? If you cannot, then you have to reevaluate it. Really, actually, properly consider all of these factors, then only you buy a car, not just the price of the car. Do you understand? Number 3, you have good public transport. You are walking distance from public transport. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. It's already there. Just use it. But I understand, okay, I have taken public transport before. It is like sardines in the morning. I get it. If you have to take like 24 stations, maybe just buy a car. But if you're taking like 4 stations away from work or from whichever destination you need to be, maybe only on the weekends you have to take 15, 20 stations. It's fine, it's bearable on the weekends. But on the weekdays, And as a girl, I've made this mistake before when I went to public transport, because I don't really take public transport that often, so I didn't consider too much. And I went into the mixed coach. And let me tell you, the mixed coach is very, very stuffy. It's filled with both men and women. And as a woman myself, I know there are great guys out there, but I still don't feel safe around strangers. So I would have to take the women's coach all the time. But the women's coach is also really, really packed, because every girl is trying to squeeze into that small specific coach, because it's not the whole train. And this is only MRT, I'm telling you. There's LRT, there's KTM, then there's BRT. All of these probably don't have women's coach. Then you have to find a different way. So if you're the kind of girl where you don't really feel safe and you're scared and you just think for safety reasons, it'll be much better for you to have a car, then by all means, I think you should. And it's the fact that you have to go through this every single day. Salute to you. I can't do that. I really tried. Like I'm telling you, I was sweating. I was like, oh my god, how do girls do this? I really respect you. Okay, then number 4. You haven't built your savings or cleared your debt. Like for example, I have student loan debt, so I have to pay back my student loans. On top of my student loans, can I actually afford a car plus all of the other factors that I mentioned? If not, then I would suggest you to clear off all your debt first, then only take on another debt. Please don't take one debt and then patch with another debt. Okay, number 5. Like me, you're a passenger princess. Actually, I really hate driving. I get driving anxiety all the time, which is also why I wanted a new car, because they have so much features that old cars don't have. My car sensor has a mind of its own. It only beeps whenever it wants to beep. It doesn't beep whenever it doesn't want to beep. So I have to gauge and estimate all the time. And parking is so stressful for me because I don't have a rear camera. So I would say I'm quite pro because I rely on the traditional way by looking at mirrors. So whenever people drive my car, they're like, whoa, you actually can park pretty well because you use your own sense. And then they are more forgiving when I park terribly because I don't have technology. But that was the reason why I wanted to buy a new car, because I was like, I can't really drive with this. And then not only that, like when I drive on the road, the new cars will tell me like, oh, you're too close to other cars. I know you can see with your eyes lah, but sometimes I cannot estimate, So I'm not the best driver. I prefer being a passenger princess. But I would say, if you really, really have driving anxiety way worse than mine, to the point where you cannot get on the road, and you want to buy a car, I think maybe you should don't buy first. You practice with whatever car you have surrounding you, and once you're okay with driving, then only you decide to buy a car. But I would say these were the factors that helped me decide whether I wanted to buy a car. And for me, the main reasons why I really wanted to buy a car was maintenance cost was really high. Every single time I send my car to the workshop, it will cost around 200 to 300 minimum to fix spare parts in my car. And this would happen very frequently. I would say around 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm telling you, right now, as I'm filming, there's something wrong with my car brakes. So I'm gonna go fix it soon. So that's why it's and just last month, there was something wrong with the aircon. And petrol, fuel efficiency wise, it's really not efficient at all. Like you might think, okay, free car, I have the car, I don't need to pay, I only need to pay for all these things. But actually when I add together, right, I might as well buy a new car. It's really not worthwhile to maintain an old car that is about to die already. So that's why I was looking into buying a new car. But if you're asking me whether I have decided to buy a car, I still need to talk to my parents. But yeah, if my parents say yes, that means yes. Okay, next. What are the options that we have as a fresh grad? We have 3 options in total. Let's start with the first one. ICE or petrol. ICE or petrol. Same thing, internal combustion engine. So what are the options that we have for petrol cars? The cheapest one being Perodua Saga at 36,000 and Perodua Ativa at 62,000. And we have 5 options in total. Proton Iris, Proton Saga, Perodua Myvi, Perodua Beza, and Perodua Ativa. I would say every single car within this range has a cheaper range and a more expensive range where they upgrade everything inside. So you just pick according to your needs as well as your budget. Most importantly, try to stick to your budget, okay? Number 2, second-hand cars. This is another option for you if you're trying to get something a little bit more premium, but with a similar price range of the cars that I mentioned just now. So the options that you can look at is probably like Nissan, Toyota, Honda, etc. So cars that are imported but slightly cheaper. Bear in mind that there are downsides to buying a second-hand car. Might seem amazing with the price, but if you don't check properly, there's probably going to be a lot of issues internally where you have to fix it up. And by the time you're done fixing everything, you might as well buy a new car. So how do you know what to look at when you're looking at a second-hand car? Honestly, my best advice is just to find a car friend and then go with you. But if you would like more advice, if you don't have a car friend, I actually have a guide listed below, which you can look through to see what are the factors that you have to look at to check before buying a second-hand car. Okay? Number 3, there's EV cars. Oh, you might be thinking, EV is so expensive. Like, why buy EV? Should just buy petrol. But actually, with newer releases lately, like Proton eMas 5 and BYD Dolphin, there are more affordable EVs, but I would say it is around the range of mid-range ICE cars. Like for example, Proton eMas 5, it is at starting price of 58,000. Not too pricey for an EV, so you pay a decent price, but you still get majority of the features of an EV car. And lastly, second-hand cars, basically family cars like mine. I got mine as a second-hand car from my mom. It is amazing because it is free, but you must check the condition of the car before using it. So what I thought was, oh my god, I got a free car. And then I drive. 2 months later, suddenly, why my roof leaking? Don't even ask me. I don't know how cars' roof leak. I really don't know. So then you have to go change out the whole roof. And that alone costs like 600. Yeah, changing roof only, I think because got lining. They got car lining, that's why you need to change everything. And then you also need to check how old is the car, what's the mileage like. There's so many things. And fuel consumption, I'm telling you. Initially, I thought, I just pay for fuel only, it's really not that bad. But then I spent around 500 ringgit a month on fuel. Don't you think I should just buy a new car? Yeah. So that's why I say, Free car might be great, but it might be great with conditions. So you have to check first. Ask your parents, ask your family, whoever that gave it to you. Now you know what the options are. Here's how to buy a car even with a tight budget. So I've done a lot of research to find cost-cutting ways to make it still affordable and for you to have a breather room every single month when you pay back for a car. Because I know as a fresh grad, like you still want to live life, you want to have a car, you want to earn money, you still want to have savings. It's really, really hard. There's so many things you need to pay for. Suddenly out of the box, I'm like, wow, I'm an adult. I have commitments now. So, number one, if you want to get a loan, you need to be a credit card holder. Yeah. First, you need to get a car loan because it's not recommended to buy a car in full cash. So bonus point, be a credit card holder first. Number two, calculate how much you can spend on a car every single month. You have to follow the DSR ratio like I mentioned just now. 30 to 40% of your total take-home income can be spent on debt, okay? Please do not go anything more than that, or else it's really going to be very hard for you to maintain every single month. Number three, save down for your down payment first. The down payment for a car is typically 10% of the total price of the car. So if you don't have money for down payment, you cannot even get a car because you have to pay the down payment upfront first. And number four, this one, I also don't like. You have to cut lifestyle costs. And as sad as it sounds, you cannot have it all. Like, see, I would like to have a great car, great money. I don't need to cut my lifestyle. Like, can you imagine I have a car and I still get to drink matcha every day. Then I get to go window shopping and I see this cute dress and I just buy. Then I go cafe hopping every other weekend with my friends. But honestly, if you're taking on this much debt, you have to cut somewhere, right? You cannot continue living like a princess and expecting everything to go well. You have to be a responsible adult like me. Yeah, it is part of figuring it out, technically. I'm not gonna lie, this sucks. Like, I don't want to cut out matcha, but I have to. Maybe I don't drink matcha every single day. Maybe I don't get Zeus every single day. What I do is I just make coffee at home. I mean, it's not that great, but you gotta make your sacrifices, you know. And I bring lunchbox every single day from my house instead of eating out. And I I push off all of my dinner appointments and set it to once a week only, which is really sad because it'll be like week 1, friend A, week 2, friend B, week 3. So I can't meet them as often if they want to do more expensive activities and they don't really go out on the weekends. But that's just how I cut corners in my life. Maybe you can cut corners in certain areas. Like, for example, you go to rock climbing and it's really, really pricey to maintain that membership in the area, then you have to go to a cheaper area to go rock climbing. Or maybe you can go hiking, something that's free. So I would say there are sacrifices that you have to make when you're taking on debt. Okay, number 5, explore bank aids. This is very interesting because honestly, I thought you were just supposed to get a bank loan and then pay it off monthly. But actually, if you look into the services that banks provide, certain banks actually provide bank aids for people who are buying cars for the first time, called a first-time buyer's loan. For example, BSN and Maybank, they have this thing called My First Car Scheme. So it's special loan packages for first-time buyers around ages 18 to 30 ringgit. What's the difference is there's lower down payment, longer repayment period, and easier approval. So you stretch out your payment. Yes, it is longer, but it is more breathable because you're paying in smaller amounts. And not only that, BSN also includes insurance protection as well as road tax coverage for the first year. Saving money. And then there's also Maybank and CIMB has this thing called green car financing options for EV users. So if you're thinking of buying EV as your first car, you get lower interest rates at around 2.5 to 2.7% for EVs or hybrid cars. You get flexible tenures of up to 9 years. And also, Affin Bank EV financing offers up to 90% financing margin, which is lower interest rates. Same lah. So, and not only that, they also include the option for EV charger installation costs within the loan itself. So you're paying everything together, one lump sum within the loan, and you're spreading it off across a longer period. Yes, you're paying for longer, but as a fresh grad, it's actually a much smarter option because you're spreading out your finances and you're not putting so much pressure on yourself at the very beginning. So maybe when you start earning more money, then you pay back more as you grow older. But for now, take what you can get. Okay, number 6. Budget 2025 actually has this option that is listed. If your car at home is more than 20 years older and you trade in your old car, then the government will actually pay up to 4K for you. But this only applies for locally produced cars like Proton and Proton. If you have an old car like me, I can actually trade it in, get 4K, and then I take that 4K, pay down payment, and top up anything else that I might require. So I don't actually need to spend as much, although it's not a big amount, but it's still a lump sum for a fresh grad. My producer actually told me a new information where if you trade in an old car that is 15 years and above to Proton, called this program Proton Exchange Program, they will provide an additional 2,000 on top of the 4,000 that the government is currently giving. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 6,000! That's crazy! That's a huge amount, honestly. So if you have a Proton car that's older than 15 years old, or preferably 20, because for the government it's 20, then you have at least 6,000 cashback. That's how I think. Girl math. Last one. I feel like this is something that a lot of people overlook. Like you buy the car, you get car loan and everything. Car insurance. Car insurance actually takes up a huge chunk within the month where you're supposed to pay it. You pay one lump sum upfront and then you forget about it until the next year. And that's typically how it works. But a lot of fresh grads cannot afford that lump sum within that specific month for multiple reasons. Maybe you don't have enough or your cash flow is tight. So one thing that my friend suggested was to find insurance providers that can allow you to spread out your insurance payment across a couple months. And he provided a couple options for me, one being Bijak and an Alliance Flexi Drive. So they allow 0% installment plans that can go up to 12 months. Means you 1K or 1.5K, depending on how much your insurance is, you can spread across however many months you want, up to 12. And that makes your cost significantly lower for that month, so you don't have to eat grass that month just because you pay insurance. Okay? So these are all my money saving hacks. I mean, hopefully it does help. Next, here are the factors that people tend to overlook whenever they buy a car. I mentioned already just now, insurance costs quite a lot. Remember to actually check how much your car insurance will cost when you're planning on buying a car. Because car insurance is not only just basic car insurance, you have to think about other factors. Like for example, do you want to cover your windshield? Do you want to cover second driver's costs? Like for example, this other person drive your car and then they hit someone else. But because you didn't buy second driver, you don't get insurance because they only cover you as a driver. Yeah. Quite a lot of things to think about, or like road tax also you need to renew every single year. Number 2, maintenance. Overall, I would say petrol does cost quite a lot to maintain when they do get older. And not only that, servicing fee can be quite pricey if you don't have cash set aside every single year. So if you want something that is not as hard to maintain and doesn't take too much time or it's not that troublesome, maybe you can opt for EV. Because EV doesn't take too much to maintain. The only things that you really need to think about is tires and battery. Yes, they cost a lot. But that's really the only 2 things that you have to think about. As for petrol, yeah, that's quite a lot. Like, why say low? Oh my god. Really? What the hell? What the hell is an engine oil? Engine oil change? Sorry, I don't know. My dad had to teach me that. Number 3, toll and parking. Toll and parking actually can eat up quite a lot of cost if you did not do the calculations. So one thing that I will always do is I will go onto Google Maps or I'll go onto Waze to search up the buildings that I frequently go to or the locations that I frequently go to, and they'll show me an estimate of how much toll I'll have to pay every single time I drive there and drive back. So when you do that calculation on a weekly to monthly basis, depending on how many times you drive in a month, you should be able to estimate how much you spend on toll alone. And not only that, certain buildings and offices do not provide free parking. So when they don't provide free parking, you have to park indoors. And in KL, A lot of my friends have to pay like 15 ringgit every single time they park in their office. And that's a minimum of 15. Some of them even go up to 30 ringgit a day. And that's really, really pricey. So if you cannot afford the parking and toll on top of your car loan, maybe you should not buy a car. It's not cheap. Very expensive. Okay, number 5, petrol and EV charging costs. Petrol and EV charging costs, although petrol is subsidized by the government now, we don't exactly know when they will stop subsidizing. So as of now, petrol can be quite cheap, but it also depends on the distance that you're traveling as well as how the mileage of the car is. So for my example, I have to spend 500 ringgit on petrol. So if I want to save money on petrol, I will opt for a car that does not eat up too much of my petrol costs. Or if I live at home and I can charge at home, that'll be even better because charging an EV car at home is actually very, 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 very cheap. Okay, then number 6, I think a lot of people know this depreciation. The moment you buy a car, confirm value already drop in half. So if you're okay with that and your car has decent resale value, that would be great. But if your car doesn't, then I think you need to evaluate what kind of car that you're buying. Typically for now, I would say the trend is EV car depreciation is not as fast as petrol car because it is on a trend right now. Number 7, this only applies for EV, battery warranty and battery installation costs. Battery warranty for most EV cars is around 8 years and around 160 km of battery warranty for most EV cars. I would say, if within that 8 years of driving, there's not much issues, it's fine. But within that 8 years, there's problems, you can claim warranty. But after 8 years, you probably need to reconsider change new car. But that's not relevant now, okay? But just keep in mind, battery is actually very pricey if you need to replace. Okay, another one, installation costs for home chargers cost on upwards of 1.5 to 2K. And that is quite pricey as an upfront payment for a student or even a fresh grad. So what I would say is the government actually provides subsidy for people who wants to install EV chargers at home. So you can claim up to 2.5k tax relief for EV installation charging equipment until 2027 only. So if you're thinking of buying an EV car, you should buy before 2027 or else you have to pay for that EV charger installation. So technically charging installation is free, right? Because you can claim from government. That's how I think lah. Girl math. Okay, so this guide is really, really long. And it really is just a very basic guide because as a girl myself, there's so many things that I have forgotten or probably neglected if I did not research, which is why I decided to put all of the facts that you have to remember above. Now it's down to what I really think about cars.
That's my opinion!
I'm not really a car person, but I still have my opinions after researching, okay? So I understand most of us are on a tight budget, including myself. You might be thinking like, which car should I get? What are the things should I look at? These are the things that she laid out for me already. It's so confusing. There's so many things that I need to remember. Yeah, I agree actually. So for me personally, I've made my own decision. I am actually an EV girly. Oh my god, so expensive. Why is Melody so crazy? I know. But then, actually, last time I used to carpool with a friend to school for 2 years and she has an EV car. And I gotta say, as a girl, I love an EV car, although I'm an ICE car owner. No hate to my current car, I love her too, but I love EV cars more for many reasons. One of it is safety features. As a passenger princess girl, I actually do not like to drive, like I mentioned just now. So I already say there's so many sensors, and even as parking, they have estimations of how far back I can park. Okay, this is what I meant. Like, okay, this is my car, and then I reverse, and then it'll show 50 cm away, 30 cm away. I'm like, whoa! But then with my current car, you know what I do? I roll down the window and I look behind. And I cannot see. And I get out of my car and I see. I'm like, oh, okay. And that's why I find it very, very annoying. This is one thing I really don't like about old ICE cars. I know current ICE cars are probably more advanced, but mine is not. Number 2, although I took undang, it's very embarrassing to admit, but I actually cannot remember every single light indication on my dashboard. So when things light up on my dashboard, I don't know what they mean. What I have to do is I take a picture and I Google image search. But sometimes it's not very accurate because Google image cannot capture all the details. And lucky for me, I have parents who are responsive. So I sent to them lah. Then I asked, why my car got bling bling and then got sound ti 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 ti. And then after that, they'll tell me, oh my god girl, your brake got problem. Oh my god, your tire got problem. I'm like, huh? And then they're like, your water pressure is not good, you need to add water. I'm like, oh, how to add water? Yeah, these are all the things as a girl that I really don't know. It's embarrassing, I know. A lot of girls will probably be like, wow, this Melody is really damn stupid, yeah. She don't know how to do so many things. And you're right, I agree. But I really don't like to think about all of these things that I don't have to think about. To me, these are hassles. And for my friend that has an EV car, do you know what's freaking amazing? It will show up on the dashboard and say, like, your tire pressure is low. Please pump tire. I'm like, wow. Do you know how amazing that is? Like, I wouldn't know that my tire pressure is low until I'm like, wow, the steering is stiff today. Like, I didn't know that until my mom had to tell me. That's why I really like EVs, because it's so advanced. And then the big screen will tell me some more. Okay, then number 3. Generally, it doesn't really take much time for car servicing. So when I went with my friend to get her car serviced, it took around an hour and a half. That was really fast, you know. So what I did was I sat down there and I watched Netflix for an hour or so. Then my car was done. But when I bring my petrol car to go service, it takes a whole day. I have to take leave just to service my car. So I'm already thinking about when I need to take leave to service my damn car, because there's so many problems. And I also get really stressed out when I need to service car because there are so many parts. They'll tell me and they'll text me. Actually, they won't text me, they'll text my mom, but my mom will send it to me and she'll question me like, what's wrong with your car? Why are there so many problems? And then they'll tell me like, this part got this one got this one, and then this one need to change what? And I was like, what the hell? Why do I need to change so many things? But then for my friend, it was more like, okay, battery health is still great. And then I think the only problem is your tire pressure is a bit low. You just need to pump tire, then okay already. And then I'm like, what? That's it? Like, you don't have any other problems? But to be fair, my car is old. And there's so many parts. I can't remember. Next. Last one, in my opinion, it is way cheaper to charge electric cars. But, yes, you might be thinking, that's crazy. You have Budi 95 now. And then you charge outside, it's actually very, very pricey. And you need to take longer to charge. So it's not time efficient. Yes, correct. Everything is correct. But then, what I'm trying to say is, if you charge at home, it is way, 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 way cheaper. Okay, so let me break it down to you on why charging at home is actually way cheaper. So, let's pick a mid-range price EV and mid-range price petrol car. So, around 60k worth of EV car and 60k worth of petrol car. And if you drive 1,500 kilometers a month with petrol, you're easily spending around 250 to 270 every single month. But for an EV car, if you charge at home using TNB's domestic rate, that's around 120 ringgit a month for the same distance. And not only that, if you charge past midnight, the rate actually gets cheaper. This is what Peter told me. Please verify yourself. Peter from Mr. Money. If I say anything wrong, ask him. Okay? So, you're saving around 130 to 150 ringgit a month, you know. That's crazy. But you might think it's very small money only. But if you add it up, it's around 1,800 ringgit a year, bro. Do you know what you can do with 1,800 ringgit? You can go Bangkok already. Yeah. And that's even with the Budi 95 subsidy in place. If no Budi 95, the price will be even crazier. Okay, so you might be thinking, what about us condo people? Like, what if we stay in condo? This is only for landed. Yeah, but Proton actually partnered with 5 charging providers to offer condo charging at only 70 cents per kilowatt per hour. Correct, ma? Yeah. Which is still cheaper than petrol actually if you do the math. So even if you don't have a home charger, you can still enjoy low-cost EV charging. But that's if you have Proton Kala. Plus, you might be thinking also, home charger, very expensive. I don't want to install. Like I said already just now, you get tax relief. What are your excuses, honestly? In my opinion, an EV car is better to have for me. I've already listed down my points on why I want to pick an EV car. But still remember your DSR ratio. Do not simply buy. Buy according to what you can afford. Okay, but I only listed down 2 different EV cars. And I looked at the price. The obvious choice for me is actually Proton eMas 5. Because number 1, I cannot afford BYD Dolphin. Number 2, I get the benefits of an EV car, but the price range of an ICE affordable car, ICE hatchback or ICE sedan car. You know what I'm saying? It's cheap, basically. Like, I can afford it without having to sacrifice too many things to the point where I cannot afford my loan. And although the range is not a lot, I agree. But for me, it is actually very sufficient because I'm only traveling within the city, so I don't need to travel too much. And I already mentioned, I'm a passenger princess. So what does this mean? I do not like to travel too far. I don't like to go like long road trips unless someone else is driving. So this is way more than enough for me. This might be a lot of things that people don't care. But as a girl, and as a girl with many things, I think you should care. This is, in my opinion, the best selling feature for Proton eMas 5 that almost nobody talks about. Storage. You're like, what the hell? Storage? Like, nobody cares. I travel with 3 bags at all times, even though I only go to work. But the reason why I have 3 bags is a work bag, a lunch bag, and a gym bag. I carry too many things. I'm a high maintenance girl. I have to get my hair done. I have to do my makeup for me to feel great. And then I have 2 different shoes at all times because like I have gym shoes, then I have work shoes. And within my work bag, I have notebooks. Then I have plasters. I have my computer. I have my iPad. I have so many things that I need to carry. I might as well carry a whole luggage. Yes, you might be thinking that, but I like to segregate my things. But one thing I really, really, really hate whenever I bring my bags is because I'm not the safest driver. Whenever I step on brake, right, it's very sudden. So it's like psh, that all my bags fall, like all, including my lunchbox. And it's really frustrating, especially if I have drinks inside, everything will spill over. So that's one thing that I really, really do not like. But Proton eMas 5 storage is well designed, let me tell you. The back seats have under seat storage. And what does this mean? You pull out, you put your shoes inside. It is perfectly placed. So when people come into your car, you don't say, hey, paise, let me take my shoe out and put it in the back. Do you know how embarrassing that is? It's so annoying. Like you see, because I don't drive very safely, so my shoes are always like ta everywhere. But now they come in, it's like perfectly placed. And then right below the area where there's like the gear shift, is that what it's called? Like the reverse, drive, neutral. You know, you get my point. Right below there, there's a section just for your bag and for your handbag. Do you know, like a girl's handbag is very precious. For me, it is precious. So I like to hang my bag. But at the same time, when I hang my bag, it takes a lot of pressure onto my handles. So there was a perfectly designed compartment just to put my bag without dirtying it because I am not a safe driver. It is a moving closet. It's like Barbie life in a dream house, but a car. Do you know how amazing that is? Number 3, they have a frunk. You might be like, what the hell is a frunk? A front trunk, right? Yeah, front trunk. Why do I need that for? Okay, so I like to swim and I like to go to the gym. I've mentioned already. And one thing about swimming and going to the gym is you have wet clothes. Gym is sweaty clothes. Pool is wet clothes. So a frunk is typically made out of plastic material. So it's very easy to wipe down. And not only that, the scent of your items doesn't really stick to the thing because plastic doesn't really retain scent from other things if you wipe it down properly, as opposed to putting it on, let's say, your car seats. So one thing I really like about that is I can put my items that probably aren't as clean into the front trunk, and when I remove it, it's easy for me to clean. Do you see the thought process here? My car is perfectly organized before I even need to buy organizing boxes. And let's say I go grocery shopping. One thing I really freaking hate about grocery shopping is fish, okay? Fish got smell and got juice. You put in the front trunk, right? You take it out, you just wipe only ma. Do you know how amazing that is? Yeah, this is, in my opinion, best selling point for Proton eMas 5. But nobody's really talking about that. So I'm telling you that now. As a girl, it's really great. Okay, number 4, I hate pumping petrol. I don't like the idea of pumping petrol. I do not like going to petrol stations. I do not like the gas fumes. I do not like standing at the petrol station just pumping gas. I don't like everything about a petrol station, okay? I just don't like it. But EV means what? I don't need to pump petrol. Number 5, last point. I think after all of this, you can tell I am not the biggest car person. So as a non-car person, I hate anything that takes up too much time for my cars. So for an EV car, like Proton, you have to service it only once a year, like every other car obviously. But then there's only 2 things that you have to look at: battery, tires. There's really nothing else that you have to look at, unless if your servicing providers tells you what you need to see lah. So as a non-car person myself, I don't have to worry so much about like what I mentioned just now, engine oil. Then I don't know what else. Engine, motor. Yeah, and then like beep beep beep. What's that? I'm telling you, later I drive home, right? Confirm I turn on the car, beep 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 beep, and then I see 3 lights, and I don't know what the lights are, and it stresses me out. I mean, yeah, I can just take out my undang book lah, but you get my point. I don't like things that take up too much of my time about things that I don't like. Point number 6 of why I picked Proton eMas 5, it's because it has a big screen. So yeah, most of you might be thinking like big screen, whatever. But let me tell you, as a passenger princess or someone that is typically parked while waiting for my siblings, what I always do is I go on my phone to watch Netflix or YouTube while waiting for them. But instead of going onto my phone, I have a big screen to watch my shows while waiting for them. And most of the time, I actually like to eat in my car. I know you'll get cockroaches, but as long as you eat properly and don't eat with your mouth gaping open, it should be fine lah. So what I like to do is watch shows in my car, and it's much better to sit down and watch with a big screen rather than your small screen. That's my opinion. So that's why I like cars with big screens. This is very superficial. It's pretty. They have pink and they have cream. Who doesn't like pretty colors? I love the pink and cream colors, but I know some of you guys are more edgy, so you can get the other colors. But yeah, how can you get a pink car at that price range? That's practically impossible unless you go get another car and get it wrapped. And I don't want to spend more money on wrapping. With that being said, I know a lot of people cannot afford a car at this price range, especially as a fresh grad. However, I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who lives with her parents, so I don't have to spend too much on rent. Contradictory, I know I made a moving out video, but I moved back in, okay? And not only that, because of that, I have more spare cash at the end of the month, and I have little to no commitments. I don't have other debts. Yeah, I don't have debts as of now. So I'm okay with taking up a car debt. And I always pack lunch from home. I barely go out on the weekends, and I don't spend too much other than maybe like Shopee 99. Yeah. So in my opinion, I can afford an EV car as an option. But then again, maybe some of us are more privileged, like your parents are thinking of buying you your first car and asking you for an opinion. You can consider Proton eMas if you are looking into EV cars, or if you are looking between the price range of 50 to 60k. So yeah, as always, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. So I did my own research, and this is how I came to my conclusion. Hopefully, by watching this video, you're able to come to your own conclusion of which car you want to buy and which car best suits you. And for me, the car that best suits me was Proton eMas 5 because of the price range, and as well as the aesthetic, the convenience, and storage, girl, storage. Yeah, and I know this is a very, very lengthy video and there's a lot to unpack. So it can be quite hard to digest just by listening to this video, because it might just be like, Melody's rambling. You're right. I have a guide listed down below for you to look through and follow along as you're listening to this video, so it doesn't get too overwhelming. It's kind of like listening to your teacher at class, but you got a workbook, you know? But hopefully this teacher is a little bit more entertaining than all your other teachers, okay? And I know there's a lot that goes into buying a car. This barely scratches the surface. This only helps you get your mind thinking and rolling like, hey, what car do I want to buy? What are the things I need to consider? Certain options that I might be that I might be missing out. So hopefully this video helps you in any way, shape or form. Do not forget to follow our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube, and head over to our Reddit if you have any other questions. With that said, thank you so much for listening to Figuring It Out, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye! We're just figuring it out. Sorry, this one is so long.